Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer, owner of Citrus and Willow Skincare and Citrus and Willow Advanced Aesthetics courses. In today's video, I wanted to do another skin analysis on a different type of skin. I'm excited to be able to show you some different skin types that you can come around when you have a client come in. I do want to give you some important tips that you want to look for if they are a new client or existing client. Always give a skin analysis. Every single time I'm constantly giving a skin analysis because the products that they're using changes their pH and then their skin can look a little bit different. It could be drier or it could be more oily or they could have rosacea. Any of those skin conditions, you want to constantly be double checking a few things. The first thing you want to check on your client is if they have an updated intake form. It's really important because you need to know if anything's changed, whether they have changed their medication or they now have some sort of medical condition, whether they are doing oncology treatments. So these are very important things that you need to know when your client comes in. If the client is using a blood thinner, you're definitely not going to want to microneedle that client, in my opinion. It just means that the blood flow is not going to stop at all. So it's important to check these intake forms. And if you're checking them every time, once a year, I say make sure you look through those intake forms and update them if necessary. Next, your client's going to come in, and the first thing you're going to do is take off that first layer of makeup or any film that they might have on their skin. And then I like to bring over the light and double check certain things. And here is what we're checking. Skin condition for one. We definitely want to know if they're oily, dry, combo, or they have any rosacea or anything that could be an issue when you are doing a certain treatment like a chemical peel or microneedling. And the second thing you're going to look for is the elasticity and the firmness and thickness of the skin. You want to make sure that their skin's not too thin for a certain procedure. Some elderly clients can have very thin skin. So it would be adverse, in my opinion, if you were to microneedle them because they're probably on some medication that's a blood thinner, as well as aspirin a day. That is a thing. So you need to make sure that they're not on any of those before you do advanced treatments. As for a regular treatment, you just want to find out if they need a mask that's going to help dry up their oil or break up their oil and dead skin cells, or if they need some sort of hydration. So these are key things that you want to look for. Next, as you analyze their skin, I would be very nice about how you say it. I try to tell my clients, only I can see this, but here's some things that I could improve in your skin. And you want to make sure that you and the client have that same goal. What are their skin goals? What are they looking at when they're looking in the mirror that is making them feel insecure? So you are there to help them and guide them. So it's great to be able to talk to that client and get to know that client. Also, what products they're using at home. That is key. You cannot go to the dentist and not brush your teeth in between. It is super important that you are making sure that your clients are using good products that accentuate the treatments that they're already getting. Once you have fully assessed the skin and you now know their different types of skin conditions, etc., and you have talked to the client about their skin goals, now you're going to come up with a treatment plan to meet those skin goals. And one thing you are going to need to talk to them about, again, is products. A lot of clients love to come in and get the treatments, but don't use the right products at home. So it's our job to educate the client on why it's important to be using at-home care. So that is when you're going to jump into all of that, and then you're going to go into your facial. So then you can be quiet if the client wants quiet. And then when you're finishing up the service, then you're going to go back to the front desk, re-explain everything you already explained to them before, and already have the products out and sitting and waiting for them to look at and talk about, and explain why it's important they use those products. Clients love to know the education. I get a lot of clients who ask me, what am I doing now? What am I doing now? And it actually is refreshing for me because I actually have to remember some of the things and the science behind it and why it works. And so it actually is a nice symbiotic relationship, but you really want to understand the skin conditions and the skin type before you do a treatment plan or products. Make sure you're telling those clients that they need to use those. And also, one last thing, make sure that you're writing down their routine. And I like to text my clients. Chelsea likes to text her clients, and then we just do AM, PM, and we tell them exactly what to do before their next treatment. Come with me, guys. Let's see what we see on this skin analysis. I want to hear what you guys see, and I'm going to tell you what I see. Let's start with the first thing we need to look at, which is the skin type. This client here has definitely rosy cheeks. She does have pores that go out into the cheek area, but they are very tight. I would say this client is dry, not normal, dry. She does have a little bit of the rosy cheeks. She did mention she was diagnosed with rosacea and that her doctor had given her some topical cream to put on it. We need to know what kind of cream that is and make sure that any treatment that we choose is not going to cause any reaction. So once we have decided that, we're also going to check, now that we know she's dry, she's been diagnosed with rosacea, she definitely is dehydrated. You can tell that with how tight her skin is. It needs a little bit of moisture, some hyaluronic acid for sure. Another thing that I've noticed with this client is that her skin is also very thick, which means she can handle certain advanced treatments. And we want to also start small with her. It's important to start basic. There's a little bit of rhytids that she's concerned about in between the eyebrow area. Definitely on the forehead, there's some fine lines and wrinkles, rhytids. She doesn't have any papules or pustules, so that doesn't make her in the category of actinic rosacea, but she definitely has some dry patches and it's very blotchy. You can see at the bottom of her lips, she also has some fissures on the lips. That you can be taken care of too by doing some sort of lip treatment. I like to do a hydrofacial lip treatment, but there's many options that you can do without having a hydrofacial. She is concerned about her chest and neck. I do go down into her chest and neck too. That does show redness as well. And you want to treat the chest, neck, and face the exact same during your treatment. How I would treat this client is I want to give her some hydration. I definitely want to smooth out some of those fine lines and wrinkles, and I want to reduce some of that erythema that's in her cheeks. And if I touch her cheeks are warm. So that means I don't want to do anything too hot or heated for this client to get more red. It could cause more issues with her rosacea. I'm going to try to cool off her face. One of the things you're going to want to explain to a client with rosacea is you're not going to use steam on that client. It really does aggravate any redness and it makes it worse. So I go through without steam. I use cool to tepid towels, and I am going to want to do something that's hydrating on her. I can do an acid on her, but if I were to pick an acid, it would definitely be lactic acid. It's a hydrating acid, very gentle exfoliant. I've been seeing this client for a while and I'm really used to her skin. I started out in the beginning with just a hydrating facial just to see how her skin reacted with a gentle enzyme exfoliant just to stay topical. However, now I have moved her up to lactic acid pills from Circadia. They are gentle enough to give her a topical exfoliation without too much irritation, and it gives her that hydration as well. And then I'm going to want to go back in and put hyaluronic acid on top of that, giving her back her hydration and then moisture on top of that. When she leaves, you can see in the video that her face is dewy. It has mild erythema from the manipulation. That will go down within a couple of minutes or so. It doesn't take very long. It's just a matter of the manipulation causing the redness. So don't get worried about that. I like to go back through with this client with some whiskey cubes or some rollers that are ice rollers, ice ball rollers, have it soak in all the products that I put on, but also give her that coolness on her cheeks from the heat. The lactic acid can give it a little bit of a bite, so just warn your client of that. Her skin is pretty much cleared now. When she first started to see me, she did have some actinic rosacea. Actinic rosacea is bumps. You'll see some papules and pustules in the red area. She does not have those any longer, and she just now is focusing on her at-home routine, which is mostly about bringing down your erythema through niacinamide and other products that are going to help soothe the skin, and moisture. She gets really dry in between. So this client, I want to tell her, come in every 3 to 4 weeks so that we can keep your skin on maintenance. Once her skin starts acclimating to the treatments, she can back off her in-house treatments to 4 to 6 weeks. And when she comes back, then you will still have to probably focus on hydration and exfoliation. So basically with her rosacea and her skin condition, we're just trying to keep that at bay. And then what she's doing at home is doing the work on keeping it hydrated and moisturized in between each treatment. I hope you guys like this video. I love showing skin analysis because it is so important for those treatment plans and skin correction. So make sure you're doing a thorough one with each treatment. I hope that you guys found some education in this skin condition that we had today. And if you saw something that I didn't see, put it in the comments. And I love learning as well. So it's really important that you guys know your skin analysis when you have your clients come in. So you guys just go ahead and press that like button, subscribe, and in the comments, tell me what you want to see next. Don't forget that we are going to conference this year and we're going to film it. It's going to be so fun. I cannot wait to show you. And Chelsea will actually be on the camera too. So I'm super excited about this. So we are going to have a blast. So press that like button and we'll see you next week.